everyone and welcome on Let's Cook with Cecile. So today I thought of all these couples who are trying to get ready for Valentine's Day, and I thought, okay, I'm French. I know that for American people, French is kind of the reference in terms of love. I don't know about that, but in terms of cooking for love, yes, that's for sure. And so what I put together for you today is a little light thing. You know, to me, when you are together with someone and you have a nice dinner, and it might go further than just a nice dinner, you don't want something too heavy. You want something very light, easy to prepare, that doesn't require too much attention in the kitchen. So I put together this little menu for you, and I thought actually of my friend Rocket. I have a friend, her name is Rocket because of rock. Anyway, it's a feminine way of saying rock. She loves scallops. And so Rocket, this is for you. This is actually a foolproof way to cook scallops without cooking them. You know, in France we have Tahiti. Tahiti is French, it's an island. And over there we make a lot of marinated fish stuff. And it's not fish because it's too difficult to get the kind of fish we have in Tahiti in here. But with the scallop, it's the same thing. So we'll make a marinated dish with scallop marinated in lemon with salad and everything. You'll see we'll add some little hearts of beet, of course, and fresh things. And we'll make this papillote of salmon. I don't know if you guys know about papillote. Papillote is this way to cook in paper in the oven. It's very, very quick. And it's a very easy way to not mess with your fish. You cannot overcook it. You cannot burn it. You know, it won't make tons of fume all over the place, which you don't want, especially on Valentine's Day. And so it's a very elegant way of making salmon, especially with veggies that we'll use in there. And at the end, of course, well, I thought of many complicated desserts, especially with chocolate, because, you know, in this case, you need chocolate. But I thought, okay, let's make it easy and still elegant. And I know that all my American friends, when they want me to teach them something, they ask me for crêpes. So it's going to be crêpes, but crêpes with a twist, because you'll see. It's a surprise. I'll tell you that when you arrive at the crêpe batter. Okay, we'll make it still everything you see in here is very healthy, very fresh, and you see that we can make something very gourmand, and elegant, and keep it very healthy. So, let's start with our little scallops. Alors, scallops, you know, they need to be plump, they need to be brilliant, they need to be very fresh, and what we'll do here is just to slice them like that, because you don't want them thick. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time to marinate them. You want actually the lemon to cook them, okay? So I'm going to make a whole bunch of these, install them in a plate, and I'll show you how to dress them after, when we come back. Okay, so now that, you know, I've made a little bed like that of sliced scallop on the plate. So what we need now is to slightly salt it. Okay. And we need lemon, of course. So I could just simply drizzle lemon on top. But what I'm gonna do is make a little vinaigrette, actually, with lemon and avocado oil. Voilà. Alors, for those who are scared of having raw scallops, actually, this little marinade will cook it. You'll see how different the color will be after, you know. It's gonna make it nice and opaque. The lemon juice, we can even add more. The lemon juice will completely cook it, and the salt too. Okay, and on top of it, I'm gonna put some shallots. You know, I've minced some shallots. I have some green onions in here. I have some pumpkin seeds to make it crunchy. And we can even add a little bit of parsley if we want, okay? So that will stay in the fridge until we are ready. I'm gonna cover it with plastic and stick it in the fridge to let it marinate, and we'll have a salad to go with it. Very fresh, very easy, can be made in advance. And what I wanted to show you also, you can make it like having petals. You know, it's more Valentine's Day looking if you add rose petals made out of a beet. Rose petals and little hearts. But we'll do that when we finish the plate, okay? And we'll make it shiny with a little bit of the marinade. See, a hyper healthy type of plate. Okay, so I'm gonna cover that, put it in the fridge, and I'll show you how we finish that plate when we are about to eat it. Right now we're gonna let it marinate in the fridge, and we'll continue with the salmon. Okay, we are back with the salmon. So now it's all about papillote. Papillotes, you see, you need something like, you know, this nice parchment paper that I usually use for cookies. Huh? But what I have in here is diced, thinly cut leeks. I love leeks. For those who don't know how to clean leeks, you just have to cut them to across like that. Not completely, so it holds together. You flush it under the water and you just slice it. In here, I kind of kept only the white part and the light part of the leek, not the dark green, you know, a little bit of dark green, but not too much. So everything will cook very quickly in the papillote, so we don't need to ready cook everything, to pre-cook everything. So here, I'm going to put some of that in here. I want a few asparagus, like that. You can add a little bit of zucchinis, like that, courgette. Even though we have some leeks, it's always nice to have a little bit of shallots on top, or you know, or even onion. It's always nice. And then we have this big steak of salmon. It can be for 2 people, huh? Personally. I would make it for 2, but you know, sometimes people have very big appetite. So in this case, voilà, you have to fold it. By the way, I already salt and pepper my salmon. Huh? It was already oiled, salted and peppered before. So here we go. If it's a big one like this one, you may use another one. I have a fair paper that you can use to even make it tighter. Like that. I like making it too. Fold it. It's a big one. Right. So for a big one like that, it doesn't want to stay closed. For a big one like that, we'll bake it for about, I would say 10 to 15 minutes because it's a big one. If you have something, you know, if you prefer to use only a steak, you know, without the bone, You can just use something smaller, slice it a little bit, and then it will reduce the cooking time to about 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. Try not to overcook salmon, okay? So I'm gonna stick that in the oven, and we'll come back to see how it looks, okay? Okay, now, while the salmon is cooking, which is very quick, you can easily make everything for your crepe, for your dessert. So here I have some flour. So maybe you'll notice it is not really a white flour because I cannot resist, I like experimenting things. And I love that flour. It's actually a sprouted spelt flour, which of course, since it's sprouted, has tremendous nutritional value. So it's always funny to use something so interesting, nutritionally speaking, in a regular dessert. So they always complain at home. They always wonder if I'm going to use gluten-free or something special in the crepe. But they cannot resist crepes, so it's a good way. And this is vanilla sugar. I used that last time for my langue de chat. Vanilla sugar. So vanilla sugar and special flour. So any flour will do. If you have actually a gluten-free flour, it will do, no problem at all. Rice flour, regular spelt, or whole wheat. Whole wheat, I'm not crazy about it. The texture is too tough. But or you can do half and half with a regular pastry flour or whatever. And here I have my special ingredients, which is white beer. I never drink beer, but I love beer in crepe batter. So this is beer. Alors, I'll give you. I cannot follow a recipe for making crepe. I'm sorry, but I'll give you one on my website, so you'll have measurements. But the problem is, I've been making crepes since I was like 10 or something like that. And the only thing I know is to reach the proper consistency. So the thing is, you want to make sure you don't get any lumps in there. So the foolproof way is to start in the middle like that, to add some liquid, not too much, and to let the flour getting incorporated. Voila. So I use the beer to make this thick batter. And then I'm going to complete with whole milk. Alors, it can be any type of milk. I've made it with almond, rice, goat, anything. Anything works. We also have recipes where it's not even milk, it's just water. But in this case, we want something luscious. So it's going to be milk. So here, I'll give you some quantities. But it's also a matter of quality of flour. Voila. So what we try to reach is something liquidy, but not too much. And the thicker it's going to be, the thicker it's going to be in the crepe too. So you don't want thick crepe. It's not pancakes. It has to stay very airy, very thin, very delicate. Of course, with this type of flour, it won't be as delicate as with the white flour, but we'll make it. I tried them yesterday. It was perfect. So you'll see, it's going to work. So ideally, you make the crepe batter a little bit in advance and you let it sit. So this is what we'll do. We let it sit, and then when it's time to cook them, we'll melt some butter in the pan, transfer it in there. Crepe batter always needs melted butter. It is the secret ingredient with the beer. and you'll see, a little bit of salt. Very important. Okay? In the meantime, so I stick that in the fridge to rest. Okay. And we'll finish up with that little scallop salad here. I'll find someone to finish the beer later. I don't drink that, but I always find someone doing it for me. Okay. Alors, maybe you'll notice that the scallop here already changed. They're getting a lot more opaque than earlier. And now what we need is to put something nice and green next to it. And what I forgot to tell you is what I love is adding pieces of grapefruit between the red to make a contrast. And I love the flavor of the grapefruit with the scallop. So we'll use also some grapefruit juice to continue the marinade, to make it further, to going further with the marinade. So what I'll do is, I wanted to show you how to properly cut a grapefruit, because we don't want any pith in here, nothing. So you cut at both ends, and then you need something that cuts well. You go like that. It starts smelling nice in here. We start smelling the salmon, and now the grapefruit. See, you go nice and under the skin. It's something you can use. I do that for the crêpe also. Huh? By the way, if you have I remember I had a teacher. She was from Hungary. She was a Russian teacher, and she invited us at home to make her local stuff, homemade stuff from her country. And she made us this crêpe, incredible crêpe, with segments of oranges like that. She did exactly the same thing, and walnuts and chocolate sauce. So this is a nice variation here. Voila, you can use that. So now we are about to make the final touch to the whole plate in here. It's what we'll put in the little green here, the green salad, because we need green salad next to that. We have a little space. So what I did is I got some of the marinade with a little bit of the juice of the beet in there, so it's pink, because we need something pink. It's for Valentine's Day. And so I'm gonna add, I still have some minced shallots in here. Minced shallots and green onions and parsley. Okay. And eventually a little bit more. I'm gonna add the avocado oil all around like that. So it's gonna help distribute the marinade in here, which contains the lemon juice and a little bit of the grapefruit juice. Okay. Nothing sweet, especially. It's nice and tart, but it's gonna go very well the sweetness of the scallop here. Okay, to show you, I'm gonna do that like that. Here we go. Okay. So that is gonna wait. You can keep that in the fridge covered until your salmon is ready, everything is ready, so you can stick that in the table at the last minute and spend some time with your sweetheart. Okay, so that is for the scallops. Now, our salmon is ready. Alors, this is always, I've made two. Look at that, how easy. Let's see, how is this one? You can either open it before, like that, and put it on a plate, or you can simply keep it covered until you're ready to eat. And directly, this is very, I don't know if it's gonna be easy if I would, là, voila. You just serve it like that. You don't even need to do anything else. You just transfer it like that. And when you're ready to eat, you open it and you dig, and that's it. So it keeps by itself, it keeps hot. So in the meantime, we can prepare our crêpe and we'll have it already cooked. So at the last minute, it's going to be very easy to reheat them a little bit and simply fill them with what we like. I hope you'll like what I like. Welcome back just for that. So we are back with the crêpe. It is my favorite part. Maybe you guessed. So the crêpe. Now that we have our batter out of the fridge, well, it can be just in the fridge and you just take it when you're about to use it. Nice consistency. I had some butter melting in that pan. It's not a crêpe pan, but it works, you know. You can make crêpe in anything. Don't be picky with that. Huh? You know, I've made crêpes everywhere, even in an RV, even in camping. You can do it with anything. You don't need to have state-of-the-art kind of tools. But you need to melt your butter in here. So you can add it to your crêpe batter right there. This is why I need this little paper here. And we won't add butter to the pan anymore. It's done, finished. We have the butter in there. We still need that pan to be pretty hot. Alors, we have a tradition in France. We never eat the first crêpe. So you have this latitude of completely messing up your first crêpe. Your first crêpe will tell you if the pan was hot enough. In here, it's not, because we cannot hear. Okay, and then it gives you, okay, so I'm gonna, voila, make it a little bit hotter. So what you need to do, so you've seen it, I was swirling my pan while I was pouring it. Just don't pour and then swirl. You have to hold your pan, tilt it, pour, and while you pour, you swirl. Otherwise, you'll have something thick. You don't want something static. You don't want to be static while you pour your butter in your crêpe pan. Okay? So the thing now is to wait for the edge. Now, when it's the first one, it takes a while. So that's why the first one is a nice test, because this is how you're going to notice, okay, that was not hot enough. But when this one is ready, I'll know it's good. So this is what we'll do here. You know, when you see this edge starts to have nice consistency, voila. You can peel it off, but here it's not colored enough. So you're gonna wait a little bit until it's colored. But so this is your test crêpe, which is nice and ugly. And it is a crêpe that you'll use just to check on your pan's temperature. This one, nobody will eat it, I can tell you. In the meantime, I'm going to show you what I've prepared to fill the crêpe. So here I have, I don't know if you remember, we made some ganache already. We made ganache to make the truffles when we made the Yule log. So it is heavy cream and chocolate. Here I've used, you know, you can make it very easy by just taking some chocolate chips buttons, but good quality. Here I use some Ghirardelli 60%, but you can still go for your favorite Belgian 70-something% cocoa. Here I have some raspberries that you can either make a little coulis out of it, or just keep it this way and add it to the chocolate in the crêpe. And here you have some powdered sugar to add on it, and some, of course, whipped cream. So these are going to be our toys to fill the crêpe. So this way, see, this one starts to get some color, so we know it's ready. This one goes in the trash, and we're ready for the first one. See, I tilt. You don't want to put too much at once, so it's better to do it like that. Okay, so this way you know you won't have a very thick crepe like that. And now it should go pretty quickly. So be ready. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Eventually you can voilà, start looking in here if you are not completely sure. I'm gonna make it slightly voilà, hotter so we don't wait too long. So it's nice because voilà, this is such an interesting crepe batter with, I can't wait for my crew to try that. I can't wait to see the look on their face eating sprouted spelt crepe. Okay, guys, this is ready. So now, of course, the longer you leave your crepe in there, the easier it's going to be to turn it. Ta-da! It's turned. So I'm going to keep that. I have a little dusted plate in here. I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. So the thing is to pile up some crepe. I don't know, you might need 2, 3 per person if you are a nice eater like me, or if your sweetheart is careful with it's his or her shape. You try to keep it for one. Okay, we put it in there, and then make it the French lavish way. Okay. Alors you have the choice. You can either fill it like that, and at that time you just use a corner because you're gonna fold it in a triangle shape. Like that. Voila. And then you cannot wait. This one I'm gonna have to eat right away before the guys are ready to try everything else with me. So we'll get together and I'll show you how even American guys like my French food.
Well, Cecile, I've been in the director's booth directing your show.
I was missing you so much.
I was missing you too, but I'm here now. So we have a beautiful Prosecco, which is, I think it's a great drink. A lot of people think it's very similar to champagne.
But it's very natural, actually. But it's Italian, it's not French. But you know, this is what I had in my fridge this morning, so I thought,
it works
you know,
for me. I love Prosecco.
Yeah,
it's one of my
I thought you
favorite
would like
drinks.
it,
So cheers. We have a beautiful dinner here.
We have a Valentine's Day before Valentine's Day.
So I'm her Valentine right now. So what should I try?
Dig. Alors, we'll dig in there. Alors, let's see. See, now the scallops are completely opaque.
Now, people want to get this recipe at home. It's on your website. So
Right.
what's your website?
I'll put all the details on my page.
So it's up on the screen now, as you can see right here. And if you want details on this fabulous recipe. Well, thank you for coming down to Acton and sharing this great Valentine's recipe. And we'll see you again soon. Cheers, everybody.
Exactly.